There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, baby. Sometimes we wondering if the grass is greener on the other side. Baby, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't need to find out if the grass is greener, okay? Come water your own grass, because you got a lot of dry patches over here. This is the chapter where we finally know our worth, and then add some tax on that, okay? Add some tax on that, baby, because you've been playing with yourself for too long. I'm tired of you sitting here walking around doubting yourself, thinking that you're not as beautiful as you are, thinking that you're not as capable as you are. Girl, you tripping. Hey queens, welcome back to the Doses of Divinity podcast with your host, Zaleka Shanaz. Today we are getting into imposter syndrome, baby, okay? This is something that has had me in a chokehold. Okay, a chokehold for way too long, y'all. I know I'm not the only one who has been going through this, so I wanted to get up on here, get a little bit vulnerable, keep it 100 with you guys, as always, and let's do some healing conversations, okay? Because I think we need to have them. I've been realizing that imposter syndrome is something that has affected my life in more ways than one, honey. This made me reflect and think back to my younger self a little bit. And I remember when I was a kid, like I'm talking like middle school throughout high school, possibly even younger than that, but listen, the memory ain't going that far back, okay? I remember just having these feelings of being inadequate. And I didn't even realize up until reflecting recently about how there was so many times that like I just had low self-esteem, I guess, and I had this common thought that would come up whenever I was triggered, whenever I was sad, whenever a situation would happen. I feel like I always go back to this thought of I'm not good enough, and I would literally tell myself that. I would literally like always beat myself up and feel like I'm not good enough, and even to this day I am still struggling with this. I have to really remind myself over and over again that I am enough, that I'm overqualified, because honey, you are not just good enough. You are more than enough. You are overqualified, okay? But it takes a lot of rework. Like, I don't even know if that's a word, but I just said it, okay? It takes a lot of like going through some of the things that you believed for so long and being like, hold on, is that a fact, or is that a belief that stems from trauma? Is that a belief that stems from, insecurity, or something that is actually not helping me but actually hindering me? And that was one of those things that I think go right along with imposter syndrome, of feeling like you're not good enough. When we're feeling like we're not good enough, when we're feeling like we're not adequate enough to be where we're at, to be in this relationship, to be working at this job, to be in this friendship with such a good person, to be whatever it is, to be carrying this child. I don't know. Sometimes I'll say things that I am not relating to. Just want to put that out there. I'm not, baby, I rebuke that, okay? But whoever needs to hear that, I hope you hear it, and I hope that you receive that. Because some of us are sitting here thinking that we're not good enough for something, whereas God is saying, I'm giving it to you because you're meant to be there. I'm giving it to you because I see it in you. God would not give us this if we weren't ready for it. I know you might not feel ready, but I believe that the opportunity would not be presenting itself right now if you weren't meant for it, if you weren't ready for it. You have to trust in the divine timing. Baby, this is Doses of Divinity, okay? Coming to you live, baby. Okay, you got to trust in the divine timing in your life. There's a reason that you're in that room right now. There's a reason. So when you walk into it, don't allow your inner critic to convince you that you're not qualified to be here, that you don't deserve it, that you're not good enough, that somebody's going to find out that you're not educated enough. Oh, baby, but God called you to it. So it doesn't matter. You might have not gotten that degree. You might have not gotten that career option that you wanted. You might have not gotten the relationship that you thought was going to work. It might have not worked out in the past, okay? But I don't want you to allow the past to dictate your future. You have to let that go. You have to let those mindsets go that are telling you that you don't belong where you are right now. You do belong. You're meant to be here in this moment. There's no time like the present. And I think that me being in my own head has taken me out of the present moment so many times. And I realize now, I'm like, oh my gosh, a lot of the self-doubt that I was experiencing, a lot of the insecurities, really, it's imposter syndrome. It's me feeling like I don't belong, that I don't deserve it. But the reality is you do deserve it. You deserve it. I deserve it. We deserve it, okay? We deserve the good things coming to us. Hold on, let me say something. I'm so sorry. I forgot to say this earlier, but y'all, my voice is gone. As you can tell, I'm sorry. I'm going from Zuleika to sound like Z. But listen, baby, listen. I went to Six Flags 2-3 days ago, and I had the time of my life, okay? I was living my best life, and that's all I'm gonna say, okay? So, I was screaming at the top of my lungs. I was also scared for my life, all right? But it was so much fun, and that's why you can also see the bust down is not fully busting down, okay? But it's okay. We still making it work, okay? But yeah, so just don't mind that. I was doubting myself for a moment today with recording. I'm like, oh my gosh, my voice sounds a little bit crazy. I don't know if I should even film. But I'm like, no, this is on my heart. Okay? This is on my heart. My mom was telling me, because I'm about to go out too, and my mom was telling me, she's like, oh my gosh, why don't you just do it after you go out? Why are you doing it now? You know it's going to rain. And I'm like, no, I have to do what God has told me to do. And she looked at me like, oh, okay, all right. And I'm like, yeah. And after I was like, was that too passionate? But I am passionate about this, y'all. I am passionate to talk to you and to share my stories, to share the things that I have been through, because I know it's going to help somebody. I have a feeling, even if it's just one person, I just know in my heart that somebody needs this reminder that God has called you to this exact moment. So you need to stop doubting, and you need to stop getting in your own way. And a lot of these messages sometimes are things that I feel like even my higher self is speaking to me right now as well, because it's I be needing these messages too, y'all. Sometimes I forget. I get into my imposter syndrome is still there. It's baby, it's still there, okay? And I feel like I have to remind myself on the daily. Reminding yourself of the daily of your worth is important, because we forget too easily. We forget too easily, especially when you're constantly on social media or you're constantly worried about what the next person is doing. Baby, your mind is not in the moment. Your mind is not focused on the blessings. Your mind is not focused on what you have in front of you. Okay? Seriously, if we are so focused on trying to be perfect, it won't get done. Perfectionism is like a prison. Perfectionism is like a prison. Oh, I hope that we will be freed. Not I hope, we will. I am declaring today in Jesus' mighty name that you and I will be free from the shackles of perfectionism, from the shackles of imposter syndrome. Because you know what? Our God says that we are worthy, that we are good enough. All we have to do is trust Him. Ooh, that's the thing. When it comes to imposter syndrome, a lot of the times we are feeling inadequate. We are feeling all of those thoughts, because we're trying to rely on our own strength. We're trying to rely on our own skills and our own assets. And that is a lot of the time where it's oh my gosh, wait, I can't. How can I do this? How can somebody like me that's been through those things, that made those mistakes, how can somebody like me be here right now? How could I even have the courage to think that I could succeed at this? That's what you could think. But then in the other way, you could think, wait a minute. I might have gone through that, but I'm not letting that hold me back, because this seed that God planted in me, I have to water it, and I have to flourish. I have to. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, baby. You cannot give up on yourself. You can't give up on yourself. I can't give up on me. Imposter syndrome can hold you back in so many aspects, okay? I'm talking relationships, career, friendships, even with your family. This is something that in 2024, baby, we are putting an end to having imposter syndrome take over our lives, okay? Because I'm ready to get back my life. I'm ready to get back my peace. I'm ready to get back my happiness, my joy, my own knowledge of my self-worth. I'm ready to get it back, baby. and to never lose it again, because I was tripping for a minute there. And let me share that, actually. Let me share with you guys why this is so important to me and why I'm so passionate to talk about it today is because I, for so long, way too long, was having beliefs that I had to fit into a mold that I was never meant to fit in. I wanted to be perfect. I wanted to reach certain things within myself that it was going past the point of, okay, just setting goals and in a healthy way and, being optimistic or being, motivated to do something. It was to the point where I was like being hard on myself if I didn't show up in a certain way. If I didn't perform how I expected myself to perform in this one way, I was like really, really going in on myself with my inner critic. And that's where I think it comes down to, like, my inner critic is like, that's where it all goes wrong, okay, baby? Once I start getting into my head, I feel like I will go on a spiral forever. I'm still facing the reality that I have been my own worst enemy for way too long in my life. Like, I was literally sitting here stopping myself from experiencing a lot of beautiful things. I stopped myself from certain opportunities before because I didn't believe that I was worthy of them. I have stayed in situations before that were not good for me because I thought that, you know what, I don't deserve better. And it's sad to say that. It feels like icky to even say that out loud, but it's true. Like, when I get to the root of these things, I realize that the only reason that I stayed in those situations was because I had a lack of my own self-worth, of my own knowledge, of my own capabilities. I want to share an example of this, y'all, because there is times that I feel like really confident and I'm feeling really good and I'm like, yeah, I'm that girl, okay? Period. Body T, face pretty, face card never decline. Like, those type of thoughts going in my head. Yes. But then there's also times where I'm like, ooh, the straight opposite, okay? And like, here's an example. Like, I saw the other day an ad for modeling for a brand, okay? And when I saw the ad, I like immediately got so excited and I was like, oh my gosh, like, would I want to get into modeling, like, for real, like, again? Because when I was younger, I used to be into it and everything at a certain point in my life. Oh my gosh, like, I never talk about that. But yeah, now that I'm older, I like kind of have strayed away from it. I do like to do a little birthday photo shoot for my birthday or whatever, but I don't be claiming myself as a model, and I'm not trying to be a model. I don't really even perceive myself as somebody that could be a model, right? And so when I saw the ad, I automatically like got excited, like I said, but then I was like, and I even saved the post, but then I was like, girl, you can't do that. I'm not pretty enough for that. Oh my gosh, like, my stomach, I'm too fat for that. I was saying things that were all, hey, some of them might be a little true, okay? But most of them were all based off of insecurity. Most of those thoughts were all based off of a lack mindset, where I was relying on my own skills, my own qualifications, instead of understanding, what if I was just meant to try it? You never know. Sometimes you're getting a sign, honey, that this is what you're meant to do, but you're gonna miss that sign. You're gonna be not able to see it, baby, if you're blinded by your own limitations of yourself. The only one holding you back is you, baby. The only one holding you back is yourself. You gotta let go. You gotta let go of the limitations that you placed on yourself. You gotta let go of the limitations that other people placed on you too. I know that it hurt when they said that. I know that it hurt when they said that you couldn't do it. I know that it hurt when they laughed at your business plan idea. I know that it hurt when they told you that, nah, I don't know if you could do something like that. When they spread doubt, on your dreams, oh, I'm sorry for that. But they didn't know themselves of the potential. They didn't know themselves the possibility of somebody believing in themselves enough to make it happen. So you have to be the difference. Set an example. I want you to set an example of what it looks like, what life could be like, if you just believe in yourself enough and believe in God enough. Have enough faith that he will get you through instead of relying on your own strength. I want to share the scripture of the day with you, radiant souls. So here we go. Okay, so the scripture of the day is 2 Corinthians 10:5, which says, "We demolish arguments and every pretension that sets itself up against the knowledge of God. And we take captive every thought to make it obedient to Christ." When it says we demolish arguments, we demolish, we have to destroy the mindsets, the thoughts, and the ideas that are going against the knowledge of God. God says that you're beautiful, that you are good enough, that you are worthy. God says that you are worthy. So we have to check ourselves. We have to check ourselves sometimes, okay? Because I recently have been trying to check myself a little bit more, but it's like I still feel like I'm like on a crossroads, because I'll go have one day where I'm doing good at it, and then the next day it's like once again going in a spiral, feeling insecure, having imposter syndrome take over, okay? But I want you to know that like those bad days don't erase the progress. Just try again. It's okay if you slip up, just try again, okay? But like sometimes you have to literally rebuttal the negative thought that you just had, okay? Like if you're sitting here constantly being like, oh my gosh, I'm so ugly, I wish I looked like this, you're pointing out your flaws, sometimes you gotta be like, oh, I rebuke that. Baby, I am beautiful. God made me as I am. And you can, instead of trying to find all these reasons to praise yourself, praise him. Praise him. Okay, you might not be the most beautiful person, and that's okay, but what about your soul? What about your spirit? What inside of you is beautiful? What inside of you makes you different in a unique and beautiful way? Because I know that there's at least one thing that you can name. And if you can't, I want you, that'll be an assignment, honey. You need to get you a journal and write down one thing that you love about yourself, or comment it down below if you're watching the visual. If you're listening, baby, I hope you enjoy. I know my voice sounds a little bit raspy, but I hope it's giving a little I don't know, rock star mode. I feel like a rock star with a rasp, okay? I feel like it. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Hey, it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. All right. Back to the Doses of Divinity podcast, and in conversations with you and me. Don't make me drop an album. I don't know, this mic in front of me make me want to start rapping or something. You know what I'm saying? But what is going on? A lot has happened these past few years, but I think it's finally time. It's finally time to put away all of those lack mindset things, and really get into our lucky girl mindsets, okay? Feeling lucky, feeling blessed, remembering the things that we are so grateful for, instead of thinking about all of the things that we lack and that we're not able to have, or all of those things. Oh my gosh, speaking of what we're not able to have, I recently, okay? I don't know, my brain's developing a little bit more, I guess, since I just had my birthday. I don't know what's going on. But baby, I have been stopping myself from my own happiness in certain ways. I had certain beliefs that were hindering me in ways where I was like, having a desire for something, whether it was, oh my gosh, I want a healthy relationship, I want to be in a healthy, loving, committed relationship, but because I believe I'm not good enough, I'm staying with somebody that doesn't want to commit, that's not treating me right. Like, I've been there, okay? I've been in friendships where I knew that what I really wanted was a safe space to get vulnerable and to be kind to one another and to be loving. But in the past, I have stayed in friendships where, it was more of, they liked to banter or be a little bit more mean. And even though I was getting my feelings hurt, because I felt like, oh, well, maybe I'm just annoying. Maybe my personality is too big. Maybe I need to shrink. I did allow those things to go on. I did allow people to, treat me in certain ways before, because I had a belief that, I can't have what I want. Maybe those girls can have it because they have this, and this, but because I'm like this, I can't have it. That right there will keep you in misery. That will keep you in miserable places. Ooh, I hope that we get freed from that. Ooh, I gotta pray on that later, baby. I gotta pray on that a little bit more today, because that hit a little bit. That hit my spirit a little bit. Yeah, I have to stop making agreements with things that I really don't want to agree with. If you continue to think in this way, Where will your life be in 10 years? If you continue to doubt yourself like this, if you continue to think in this way, if you continue to put yourself down, what will your life look like in 10 years? But if, what if you took a chance on yourself? What if you finally decided that you were good enough? What if you finally chose to believe in yourself and to trust God and to know that you are worthy, that you are deserving? What would your life look like then if you followed your dreams? What would it look like in 10 years? I want you to know that both options are possible. And it's up to you. It is up to you, darling, what you will do. Are you going to continue to limit yourself? Are you going to continue to do that? Because at this point, I think that we're tired. I know that I am exhausted. My soul is tired of fighting with myself. I'm tired of holding myself back. I've been doing it for too long, and baby, it hasn't been working. Thinking that I wasn't good enough wasn't getting me nowhere, okay? Thinking that I was ugly wasn't getting me nowhere. Thinking that, all those things, it wasn't helping me. You cannot hate yourself into a version that you will love. You sitting here critiquing yourself, it's not pushing you to work harder. It's making you doubt yourself. It's actually making the process harder. You should be kind to yourself. You do deserve it. I absolutely adore this quote that states, "Comparison is the thief of all joy." This really resonated with me because I found that the past few years, I randomly, maybe it's because of all the social media intake, probably. I just found myself comparing myself more than I ever did before. I was looking at, it's all these girls with the BBLs. Girls got their titties all the way up here. My titties sag down low. What's going on, baby? What's going on? You know what I'm saying? I'm like, dang, it's just a lot to look at on social media sometimes. Even there's always a new hairstyle. There's always a new trend. There's always a new outfit inspo. There's always a new something. And sometimes it feels like, oh my gosh, I'm falling behind. I need to catch up. There's always somebody flaunting the new car that they drive in, or, getting some more money than I am, or something like that, seemingly successful in their careers, and it's making you feel a little bit incompetent, things like that. When we compare ourselves to someone else, all we are doing is focusing so much on them that we forget all of the goodness and all of the blessings that we have over here. Sometimes we wondering if the grass is greener on the other side. Baby, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You don't need to find out if the grass is greener, okay? Come water your own grass, because you got a lot of dry patches over here. You got a lot of dry patches over here, babes. You need to come focus on this. You need to plant some new soil down. How about you plant some flowers in your garden instead of looking at your neighbor's garden? Because your neighbor's garden, yeah, it might be flourishing. It might be beautiful flowers over there, honey. But you will never be able to grow your own flowers and have your own garden and tend to your grass in the way that you were supposed to if you keep on spying out your house looking at your neighbor's garden. Okay, I don't even know where that came from, but it came out. I hope it made sense. Did it make sense? I don't know. I don't know, but it's true. And I was sitting here looking at somebody else's grass, thinking it was greener, not guessing, or not even thinking about it, but being like, oh my gosh, their grass is greener. And sometimes it is. Sometimes there's always going to be somebody better than you. There's always going to be somebody better than you. Humbly so. But that never is going to make you less than. Do you understand? Someone else's worth doesn't take away from your own. I love that affirmation. Someone else's worth does not take away from my own. I am beautiful as I am. I am worthy as I am. You need to say it. You need to claim it, honey. You need to claim it. That you are enough, that you've been enough, and that you're more than enough, and that you're overqualified, that you deserve to be here. Ooh, I deserve it. I am more than enough. I am worthy. I am worthy of all of my desires. I deserve them. Yeah. You need to claim it over your life, because for far too long, we have gotten comfortable putting ourselves down. We have gotten comfortable criticizing ourselves. It is awkward when it comes to complimenting yourself though, huh? Fix that. Yeah, we're gonna work on that, baby, together. We're gonna work on that because I'm tired of you criticizing yourself as if you ain't all that in a bag of chips already, as you are, okay? And yeah, so we have to cut that out. We have to stop the criticism. We have to stop the comparing ourselves to somebody else. I used to be a people pleaser, y'all. I think that people pleasing also stems from like me being a kid and like not wanting my mom or my dad to be mad at me, or like I didn't want to get in trouble or to get my behind whooped, okay, because that could happen too. And now that I'm older, I'm like, wait, I don't need to carry that into my life anymore. I don't have to worry so much about being liked. Okay, I think that it also stems from that, like you want to be liked. And I'm not gonna lie, I still have a little bit of that in me because it's like I'm a good person. I want people to like me. I want people to feel my love and to feel my good energy. So sometimes it does like kind of bother me, like when I experience situations like, oh my gosh, y'all, if y'all want a story time, comment down below. Like if you're watching the audio, I mean, you could actually comment. Wait, I said if you're watching the audio, if you're watching the YouTube video, but on Spotify, you guys can also comment down below, by the way. So either way, you can comment down below if you want like more story times or like, I guess, I don't know, advice or whatever about like just dealing with mean girls, because I've been in situations where I was dealing with mean girls and it would like really hurt my feelings because I'm like, it's all good vibes over here. So what's the problem? Like I wouldn't understand it, you know? And I also like, I think for a while, I never perceived myself as like as beautiful, as pretty, as much as like people have told me, I guess I would say. Like I've always perceived myself as like, oh, but I have this wrong with me, or like I got a little weight right here, or this, or like my face isn't that pretty. Like I would say all these things, and I'm finally getting to see, y'all, that is getting held back by perfectionism. That is the comparison trap. Why was I looking up the prices of surgery last month? Why was I trying to calculate how much it was going to cost to get this body done, this face done, this lips done, all this other stuff? What? Are you dumb? Do not play with me right now, okay? You are beautiful as you are. You are lovable as you are. God painted you with his paintbrush. Don't you play. Don't you play about your worthiness. Oh, you were made in his image. Don't you know that? I can't believe it. I cannot believe that for so long I was sitting here and allowing my insecurities to hold me back like that. That's a ghetto. That's a really ghetto. Yeah, it's got to go. It gotta go. Like this is the year I'm wrapping it all up, baby. I'm wrapping it up, and I'm really gonna dissect the beliefs that I need to start disbelieving. Okay, I need to stop agreeing with things that are not good for me, that are not leading me towards a better path. Like if it's stopping you from something that makes you happy, if it's stopping you from getting a desire that in your heart you know deep down that you really want, you got to understand that is doubt. That is doubt, Seth, honey. That is something that will get in your way. Your comfort zone will kill you. Ooh, I'm going to make a video about that. That might be next. Should that be episode 3? I don't know. But your comfort zone will kill you. You cannot stay at where you're comfortable at. Okay? Listen, if it's healthy, go for it. But if you know that you're holding your back, you're holding your back. I just remember something else that goes hand in hand is procrastination. Okay? I am always procrastinating, and I think that it all ties in. It all ties into imposter syndrome in a way, because it's like I will procrastinate doing something because I have a fear that like it's either I'm going to not have enough energy for it. I'm not going to be able to do it the right way. I'm not going to be able to perform at my best. I like literally want things to be perfect or not at all. Like it's like I have to let go of that, because sometimes things are going to be a little imperfect, but at least you showed up. At least you gave it a try. At least you believed in yourself enough to do it. Imposter syndrome will have you thinking that you're incapable. Even though you have shown plenty times that you are more than capable, you can still feel as though you don't have the credentials enough to do it, that you aren't able to succeed in the way that you really, really want to. And I'm here to tell you right now that those things, those thoughts, whoever told you that, if you're telling yourself that, baby, I want you to know it's a lie. That is a lie. And it's time today to start telling yourself the truth. To start reminding yourself of how worthy you are. To start reminding yourself of how capable you are. You wouldn't have gotten the idea if it wasn't meant for you to have. You wouldn't have gotten the opportunity if you weren't the right person for the opportunity. You are the right person for the job. You are the right person for that relationship. You are deserving of it. You are deserving of it. So allow yourself to soak in the blessings instead of questioning, instead of doubting, instead of trying to rely on your own strength and your own skill. You need to understand that God is putting you here in this exact moment, in this exact space, in this exact place outside of your comfort zone, because there's growth that lies on the outside of that imposter syndrome. There's growth that lies on the outside of that procrastination, outside of that perfectionism, outside of that people pleasing. Ooh, we got to cut it out. We got to cut loose. We got to cut loose of the things that are holding us back. I am on a road right now where I am trying to drive past and leave behind the things that are no longer serving me. To leave behind the pain of the past. To move forward. It's time to stop driving and you sitting beside your doubt, your insecurity, and all that shame and all of that trauma that held you back for so long. You riding around with it in your passenger seat, babes. You riding around with doubt in your passenger seat, and it's time to tell it to get out. It's time for you to pick up some new things for yourself that are actually going to benefit you, that are not going to hold you back, but are going to be reminders to yourself that you were capable. And that we serve such a good God that he can take somebody that only has the size of a mustard seed of faith and can move mountains with it. You understand? I don't know if you understand, but baby, if you don't know, then now you know, okay? And I'm just so grateful that I have this platform to talk to you guys about this stuff, because these are the things that I wish a few years ago somebody would have talked to me about, okay? These are the things that I wish that me and my sister talked about or me and my mother talked about, but it's okay? I'm going to talk to y'all about them, and I'm going to teach y'all and relay these informations or these little reminders. I'm going to do that and remind you guys of how much, you are capable, you are worthy, you are enough, you are the things that you are too afraid to even admit to yourself because you're so used to the things that you came into agreement with long ago. You started to believe that you weren't good enough years ago. That didn't just start happening. Yeah, you might have gotten triggered recently, so now it's coming up a little bit more, but that thought didn't just start right there. And I'm starting to realize that these are things that I have been telling myself for years and years and years. And it's like, do I really want to be 60 years old and look back and be like, dang, I never got the life that I wanted because I was too doubtful of my own self. I doubted my own potential so much that I couldn't even live the life that I dreamed of. Is that what you want? Because I don't think it is. I know in my spirit that I am on fire for this. I need to change this. I need to let go of this imposter syndrome. I need to stop doubting myself. I need to stop people pleasing. I need to stop caring if they like me. Who cares if they like me or not? As long as I like me, that's all that matters. As long as that I am accepting and embracing who I am, that's all that matters. You don't gotta love it, but baby, at least try to like it. At least accept it. At least just accept it. Accept who you are. And don't rely just on yourself. Rely on him. Pray about it. Pray about it. It's time for you to stop looking over to the right and seeing doubt in your passenger seat. It's time for you to start just looking straight ahead, saying goodbye to the negativity, kicking them at your car, and you just driving down the road, minding your business. I don't know what it is about this car, I don't know what it is about this car metaphor, but I like it, okay? I don't know. I like it. And I literally I want us to know that we are deserving of our desires. I am deserving of my desires. Yes. Yes, we are. We need to claim it. We need to claim it. The things that we want are possible. They're within our grasp. But sometimes you have to be able to believe that you are worthy of it for it to fully come to you. I think that it's about time that we start to make our own standards for how we're going to accept, how we're going to allow others to treat us, for how we're going to allow ourselves to treat ourselves. Don't tell yourself something that you wouldn't tell your best friend. Ooh, don't tell yourself something that you would not say to your best friend. Okay? I want you to think about that, because it's really time that we start being kinder to ourselves. I have been hard on myself for way too long. It's like, baby, I think it's about time we give it a try of being a little bit kinder to ourselves. Just try it out. Just try it. Just believe in yourself a little bit. I'm telling you. And not just yourself, but believe in him. Just a little bit. And you're going to see. There was moments in my life that imposter syndrome held such a hold on me that I felt like I needed to shrink who I was in order to fit in. I thought that I was too loud, too excited, too happy sometimes, too positive, too too ghetto sometimes, y'all. I thought I was too goofy. I thought I wanted to joke around a little bit too much, that I needed to keep that all concise, that I needed to shrink myself, because I didn't want people to make judgments. I didn't want them to think that I was too much, that I was, conceited, that I was this, that I was that. What does it matter? Screw what other people are thinking about you. What do you think about yourself? We should not be around anybody that we feel like we need to dim our light to be around them. Shine bright, baby. Shine as bright as you can. And who cares if somebody gets uncomfortable? Who cares if somebody gets jealous or feels like you're doing too much? What is that song by Cash where she's like, they be like, Cash, girl, you doing too much. I'm like, shut up. You ain't doing enough, right? Like, somebody can say that you're doing too much and that you're on a high horse, that you think you all that whatever, or that you're annoying, that you talk too much, that you're this, blah, blah, blah. But I want you to know that, like, you're not going to be everyone's cup of tea, and it's okay. You have to allow yourself to just be who you are and to accept that and embrace who you are as you are. Like, there's been times that I felt like, in certain spaces, especially just as a minority, sometimes there's times where I'm in certain spaces with my Caucasian counterparts where I feel as though I have to present in a way that's like kind of shrinking my personality sometimes. I don't want to be perceived as ghetto. I don't want to be perceived as ratchet. And those aren't the things that I feel like people would necessarily say about me. You know what I mean? I feel like there's so many other words that come to mind when you think of Zuleika. I hope so. But there are parts of me that, I am a black woman. I am Guyanese. I have culture to me. There's certain things that I am super passionate about. And I'm very animated, as y'all know. Like, I talk, I'm very open, I'm very honest. Sometimes I don't think before I speak, and when I'm in certain spaces, like I said, particularly sometimes with Caucasian counterparts of mine, I will sometimes feel like I do have to shrink and that I have to act a little bit differently. And this is something that I had to realize, like, I had to heal within myself, because it's like, you are enough. You are enough. You don't have to change anything. You don't have to shrink. You don't have to act like anybody else. You don't have to, you don't have to do anything differently in order to be loved and embraced. Your people will love you regardless. Your people will accept you. Your people will not sit here and judge you. And if they are, then those just aren't your people. So it's like, instead of feeling like it has to be perfect, that we have to be showing up in a specific way in order to be liked, in order to be embraced by others, maybe take a chance and just see what happens, okay? Because I believe that the right things will fall into place when they're supposed to, and you will end up where you need to be. Cheers to healing, my loves. Cheers to less criticism of ourselves and more complimenting ourselves. Less belittling ourselves and more believing in ourselves. Ooh, that was smooth like butter on a bagel, baby. Ooh. Oh my gosh, y'all. I love you so much. I love you. Whoever is listening, whoever's watching right now, I want you to know that I'm so grateful for you. And you will overcome these things. Imposter syndrome, perfectionism, people pleasing, self-doubt, insecurity, all those things, they no longer have their hold on you. Because you are stronger than that. You are rising up right now. As we speak right now, you are rising up. Do you feel it? Do you feel it floating off of your back? Do you feel it coming out of your mind? Because I can see it. I can feel it. I can feel it. I can feel the light starting to enter my body and allowing me to reach a point where my comfort zone doesn't feel as comfortable. I'm starting to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. I'm starting to enjoy pushing myself and taking a chance on myself and having enough faith to step out and do something, even if I'm quote unquote not qualified. Because you know what? I might not be qualified, but God is. Ooh, God will do it, baby. God will do it. God will give me the strength. So we got to believe in ourselves. We got to believe in Him. And I want you to know that you are worthy. I'm going to remind you once again that you are worthy, that you are capable, that you are more than enough, that you are more than the things that you told yourself or more than the things that people told you in the past. You can do everything that you put your mind to. Okay? All right? So stop getting in your own way. Stop doubting yourself. Stop being your own biggest critic and start being your number one fan. Start cheering yourself on. Start believing in yourself, even if you gotta lie a little bit to yourself. And what I mean by that, okay, I think that some of us think of affirmations or positive, like those positive thoughts and positive words. Sometimes it feels corny. It feels like, oh, I'm lying to myself because I don't believe it. I don't believe I'm beautiful. I don't believe I'm I can do this. I don't believe that. But baby, you gotta think about it. Think about it like this. When you're telling yourself that you're dumb, when you're telling yourself that you're ugly, when you're telling yourself that you're not capable or that you're not talented enough, that you're not as good as this person, that's already a lie. That is already a lie. So why not tell yourself a better lie, okay? Why not tell yourself a better lie and tell yourself, okay, maybe you don't feel like it. Maybe I don't feel like it, but I'm going to lie to myself and I'm going to tell myself, you know what? I got this. I'm beautiful. I am worthy. I actually deserve this. I actually deserve that because I'm that girl. I am that girl, okay? And good things come to me naturally, okay? I deserve all of my desires effortlessly. Like, that is the type of stuff that we might feel uncomfortable to say. It might feel uncomfortable to tell yourself that you are gorgeous because for most of the days you feel like you look like who didn't know why. I understand that, baby, because I get it, because that be me too. I understand. But you telling yourself these negative things that are putting you down is keeping you hostage. It's keeping you held back. And the main person holding you back is you. It's time to stop it. It's time to get out of our own way and unlock this new chapter. Okay? This new chapter, we can write it out in a way that we are no longer being held back by these beliefs that were telling us to shrink. This is the chapter where we finally know our worth and then add some tax on that, okay? Add some tax on that, baby, because you've been playing with yourself for too long. I'm tired of you sitting here walking around doubting yourself, thinking that you're not as beautiful as you are, thinking that you're not as capable as you are. Girl, you tripping, okay? Let's get it together, okay? Because it's about time that you start looking in that mirror and start reminding yourself of who you are. You better fix your crown, queen. You better stop playing with yourself, because I'm tired of it, okay? You better sit up straight. You better walk around like you know. You better act like you know that you are blessed and highly favored and capable of anything, and that any thoughts that are deriving from doubt, oh, I rebuke them. I rebuke them for you, baby. I rebuke them. You will not be held back by any of that any longer. Okay? Oh my goodness. I don't even know where that be coming from. Like, y'all, I start getting into that mode. Like, I start getting into that mode for real where it's like just randomly, I don't know. It just starts flowing. Like, I ask the Lord to just let me speak from the top of my mind and things just be flowing. And that is also how I know I'm called to this, because baby, I could talk to y'all for 3 hours straight, okay? But at that point, you might have your bonnet on sleeping on your third dream. So I don't want to do it to you like that. But I just love this. I love being able to talk to you guys freely. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for rocking with me. Thank you for tuning into the Doses of Divinity podcast, baby. If you enjoyed episode 2, please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up button. Comment down below if you've also experienced imposter syndrome, or am I the only one? Okay, let me know. I want to hear your story. Let's share. Let's inspire each other. Let's stay connected, okay? This is a safe space. And also, please make sure that you subscribe to stay a part of the tribe. And I will be seeing you guys next week. I hope you have a blessed the rest of your day. And remember to take care of yourself because, baby, you deserve it. Mwah.